Hi, this is Brad Ferris of Anchor Advisors. I help owners of creative service firms to grow past the $1 million barrier and to start to grow into the $2 and $3 million category. Today, I want to talk to you about 5 keys to growing your business beyond the $1 million barrier. Number 1, when we start our business, we start off broad. We kind of are throwing things up against the wall to see what sticks. But as we start to get success, as we start to get traction, it's important that we narrow our offerings, that we start to narrow down to look at selling one thing to one key market. So identifying who that ideal target is and a really tight, focused ideal target, and start to sell one thing to those people. What thing is that? Well, it's the thing that they want the most. We want to be selling something into them that they're pulling out of us, that they know that they need, and that we know that we can deliver. When you find that service market fit, where you're selling something that your ideal client really wants, man, it changes everything in your business. Your marketing gets so much easier. Your sales get so much easier. You can deliver so much more reliably. You know how many hours it's going to take or how many people it's going to take. You know what your margins are going to be. And man, you can nail it. And your clients really love the services that you're delivering. Like everything starts to come together and gel when you focus down on that one deliverable. Contrast that to when you were starting and you were trying lots of different things and someone would say, hey, do you do this? And you'd say, sure, we do that. But then you get back to the office and you have to try to figure it out. And you weren't so confident. And a lot of times you ended up spending a lot more time and not really getting the results that you were looking for. So now that you've got some experience, now that you've got a track record, narrow down to those things that you're really good at and that your market really wants from you. Number 2, raise your prices. So when you're growing your business past the $1 million and starting to go into those $2 and $3 million categories, there are a lot of costs that come into play. You're going to want to attract better clients. That means you're going to do more marketing. It means you're going to need a professional sales team. It means that you're probably going to want to have an accounting staff or some bookkeeping that are helping you to know who your most valuable clients are. All of those costs add to your overhead. Not all of them are billable. And so you need to have more margin in your business in order to pay for those things that you're going to need in order to grow your business. The best way to do that is by raising your prices. But raising your prices does a lot more than just bring more money in so that you can support the growth of your business. Raising your prices means you're going to attract clients who really need that thing that you're selling, for whom it's not like a nice to have, but the deliverable, the process, the thing that you're giving them is a thing that gives them life, that they need like they need air or water. And when you have clients like that need that what you're providing, I mean, they love it. They're so engaged. They're right there with you. They never blow off a meeting because they need it, right? And because it's costing them a lot of money. And so raising your prices is a way also to filter out some of those more marginal clients that really aren't in your ideal client profile, that really aren't in the center of your target. So as you're starting to grow toward that $1 million, you need to really think about raising your prices. And I'm not talking about 5, 10% price increases. I'm talking about 50, 100% price increases. Price increases that make you like seize up when you're putting the numbers on the table and that make them kind of suck air through their teeth. You want to find those people for whom price is not the issue. Number 3, as you're growing your business past $1 million, you've been hustling, you've been driving. You, as the business owner, are probably the thing that's made this business grow more than anything else. But your hustle and drive can't keep being the thing that drives your business growth past $1 million. You're just going to run out of energy. You just don't have it in you. And so as you're getting up close to $1 million, you've got to start peeling away some of the things that you're focused on, some of the things that you're doing, and particularly those things that are working in the business. So if you're involved in delivering services, if you're involved in meeting with clients, in doing the thing that you're selling, that kind of stuff, the more you stay involved in that, the more you become a bottleneck. The more you're the reason that your business isn't growing. And if you narrow down your service offering, like we talked about earlier, then it's much easier to replicate the genius that you're bringing to the project into the rest of your team members, so that you don't have to be the one who's pushing sales, who's being the genius in the room, who's wowing the clients. You want to make sure that your team is delivering that, because you're not scalable. There's only one of you. And so if you're essential to delivering the services to clients, eventually you're going to be the bottleneck. Number 4, one of the things that needs to change as you're growing past 1 million is that you need to evaluate yourself differently. One of the questions I ask clients is, how do you know that you're doing a good job? And it's interesting, the kind of answers that I get. The clients that are on the smaller end who haven't really started to scale yet, they talk about, well, I'm getting things done. I'm checking things off my list. I delivered that thing. I got that thing out. They're measuring their success by what they themselves are getting done. But again, like we talked about before, you're not scalable. There's only one of you. And so as you start to peel those things away and give them away, there can be a feeling of, hey, that's how I earn my worth. That's how I know that I'm doing a good job. And that's where that's got to start to shift, where you start to get your own worth by seeing other people deliver things. It's your job to create the environment, create the systems and processes to make it possible for other people to deliver the work. And so really focusing on understanding that my value is not in doing things, but my value is making it possible for other people to do things. I've had a lot of clients come to me and they're frustrated and they say, Brad, I didn't get anything done today. All I did was spend a day in meetings. And I have to look them in the eye and say, actually, that might be your job today, is to go to meetings. Number 5, as your business starts to grow past $1 million, as you start to peel away some of those things that you're good at, and as you start to shift how you're evaluating what it is that's giving you worth, what it is that is your job, you're going to have to start giving up some things that you're good at. As you've developed your career, as you've grown your business, you've developed a track record of being really good at things. And there are probably a number of things that you're the best at in the whole agency. You're the one that does this better than anybody else. And it's going to be really hard to hire someone who's as good at it as you are. But if you sit in a quiet moment, you're going to realize that some of those things aren't things that you really enjoy anymore. They aren't things that give you life. And in fact, they're things that kind of start to fall down on your to-do list so that you're getting them done like nearer and nearer to the deadline. Those are signals that you're doing things that you should not be doing anymore, that we can probably hire someone else to get done. Just like when we talked about raising your prices, there's a sense that we need to grow our capacity as we grow our business. And here, it's really about your calendar. As you have a bunch of those things on your calendar that you still need to get done, that's taking up time that you need to be spending worrying about the business, recruiting, training, and hiring your top team members, thinking about the strategy of where this business is going, and are we selling the right services to the right people? Those are the kind of things that you need to spend your time with. And they're going to feel unfamiliar. Those things that you've built your whole career having a track record of being great at, as you start to drop those away, the things you're picking up, you're not going to feel as confident in them. But those are the skills that you need to learn in order to lead your business to that next level. And so that's a big transition for the leader, to start to drop away some of those things that they're good at to make room for the things that they really need to do. I'm sure that you've got some questions about these things, and I'm happy if you reach out to me. But you could also stop by anchoradvisors.com/growth-phase. And there's an assessment there that helps you to see what the next right things are for you to be working on in your leadership. Stop by and check it out, and then give me a call and we'll talk about what the next steps are for you.